Daniel Dale is the Toronto Star journalist who came to fame covering former Toronto Mayor Rob Ford. Now he's down in Washington, D.C. covering President Trump. His coverage of the president has gained him and the paper some notoriety, especially in the circles of the resistance. Because ever since Dale embraced his inner BuzzFeed journalist, he now maintains a list of supposedly false claims President Trump has made so far in these 9 months since he took office. To give you an idea, propaganda filmmaker Michael Moore has even tweeted out Dale's list as proof of Trump's transgressions. So it should come as no surprise to you then that semantics, skewed data, and partial information taken out of context form the basis of many of Dale's claims. So I thought I'd share a few of the most ridiculous attempts by Dale to embarrass President Trump with you today. To note, Dale has never interviewed Trump, not during his time on the campaign trail covering him, nor since he became president. And come to think of it, we've never even seen Dale in the White House press briefing either. And that's strange because that seems like the perfect place to challenge the administration on these hundreds of supposed fake claims, right? During President Trump's recent sit-down with Mike Huckabee on the Trinity Broadcasting Network, President Trump stated, quote, "Obama should have never gotten out of Iraq the way he got out. That's how ISIS formed. It formed in the vacuum," unquote. That seems like a fairly innocuous statement, right? But to Dale, he says it's false, writing, quote, "In fact, ISIS has roots dating back to the late 1990s. It became known as the Islamic State during the Bush administration, more than 2 years before Obama took office," unquote. Look, it doesn't matter when ISIS officially formed, actually. Forming in 1999 has no bearing where ISIS spread once the vacuum was created. And according to former Army General Raymond Odierno, the top commander in Iraq during the post-troop surge that wiped out al-Qaeda in Mesopotamia, he told Fox News that the rise could have been prevented, quote, "if we had stayed a little more engaged. I think maybe it might have been prevented. I've always believed the United States played the role of honest broker between all the groups. And when we pulled out, we lost that role," unquote. If you want a good idea of how petty Dale is being over what is a false statement, take this one. In an interview with Forbes, Trump was discussing his historic Electoral College win. Quote, "And not only didn't they win, it was 306 to what was it, 223? If you could get the right number, it was 306 to 223, unquote. Dale snarkily writes in reply, quote, "In fact, Hillary Clinton earned 232 Electoral College votes, not 223. Did the president not clarify the statement when he quoted that he was unsure and his mistake was getting one number wrong, 223 instead of 232? It was a slip of the tongue reversing digits like that." And then, in the same Forbes interview, Dale takes issue with Trump stating, quote, "We're building up our military. We just had an over $700 billion budget, which will be approved," unquote. And Dale's response, quote, "In fact, the military budget is $700 billion, $640 billion base budget plus $60 billion in overseas contingency operations, war funding." So Mr. Technical over here is saying false to say that the budget will be over $700 billion because it's exactly $700 billion? Okay, so a $1 overrun in any department and Trump is right. Well, lastly, it wouldn't be much fun if we didn't look at least one Trump tweet. Discussing the 2017 race for Virginia governor and supporting Republican Ed Gillespie over Democrat Ralph Northam, Trump tweeted, quote, "Ralph Northam, who is running for governor of Virginia, is fighting for the violent MS-13 killer gangs and sanctuary cities. Vote Ed Gillespie," unquote. Now, Dale responds, "In fact, there is no evidence to support the claim Democratic candidate Northam is fighting for the violent MS-13 killer gangs. This line of attack is based on a vote Northam cast in Virginia's state Senate against a Republican bill to ban so-called sanctuary cities. Now, these limit local cooperation with federal deportation authorities." And so when reading tweets, you need to make a little bit of an inference, as there's only 140 characters, right? And Dale fails to do this, and so it's pretty simple. If you were in favor of sanctuary cities, as Northam's voting record indicates he is in fact fighting for sanctuary cities for gangs like MS-13s, because MS-13 has a higher number of illegal immigrants than the typical gang. It's simple. Look, this entire list is filled with similar responses from Dale, and it's just lazy journalism in my opinion, especially when you make no apparent attempt to contact the administration or the president himself to challenge him before you produce a list of supposed false claims numbering in the hundreds. But what would you expect from the journalist caught outside Rob Ford's house behind his back fence 8 p.m. in the dark one famous night? Also worth noting that he's pulling a Chicken Little. Every time apparently Trump opens his mouth, the sky is falling and a lie is being told, when in fact it is not. So how are we to believe any of Daniel Dale's claims in any of his pieces? For the Rebel.media, I'm Christopher Wilson. Thanks a lot for watching. We are very excited here at The Rebel. We've got a brand new slate of fall shows, and we're going to give you special discount pricing for the time being if you sign up for our premium content. And if you want to know more about this and that list of new shows, head over to therebel.media/shows. Check it out. I know you will not be disappointed.